What is up, everybody? Welcome to trey'strades, where we give technical analysis of different stocks in the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I am not a financial advisor nor expert. I am just some guy on YouTube, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The reason that I started this channel is because a couple of years back, I was about $30,000 deep in some pretty bad medical debt, and I was very fortunate to have some close family, friends, and mentors that pushed me to work really hard and invest my money, and I'm happy to say that not only am I now financially free, but I'm doing pretty well for myself at the age of 23. So, if I could pass along any of the information, resources, or tools that are given to me, make the community a little bit better off than it was before, that's all a guy can ask for. Lastly, if you would not mind dropping a like on the video, it really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this, as I do post videos every day, multiple times a day. Now, quick shout out to the guys over at the Patreon. We did have a couple new people join today. We're about 57 members strong. Dave, Ricardo, Amit, Iodell, Jaden, Mecca, Ridgeway, Alec, Arthur, and Nantana. Thank you guys so much for the support. It really does mean a lot to me. They will have access to the private Discord, as well as real-time insight to my personal trading. And if you're interested in the Patreon, there is a link in the description box down below. Now, today we're going to be giving an update on APXT, Apex Technology Acquisition Corporation. Just to be transparent, I do have a position in this stock, so if this deters you because I have a bias, I just wanted to make that aware to you. I have 152 shares at $14.20, currently sitting at 3% gain and at $65, and this does come out to a value of about $2,200. So, just to be transparent, I do want to show you how to skin in the teeth with APXT. We're going to be running over the overall volume trends that we're seeing, the RSI indicator, the relative strength index, the 20-day volume adjusted moving average, the VAMA, the 200-day EMA exponential moving average. We're going to look at this from a macroscopic point of view, as well as a 1-day, 1-minute chart microscopic point of view for both mid to long-term investors and day or swing traders. So, just to give you a background on APXT if you're not familiar with what they are. Apex Technology is a blank check company. It is formed for the purpose of effecting a merger, capital stock exchange, asset acquisition, stock purchase, reorganization, or similar business combination with one or more businesses. The firm intends to focus on search for prospects within the software and internet technology industries. And APXT, if you pull them up on MarketBeat, you know, they don't have currently any analyst opinions, but we can look at a couple of their different financials here. They don't have any PE ratios available. They don't have any debt to equity ratios available. Their current ratio is 10.51. Market cap of about 651 million. So, you know, a pretty decently small company, but not outrageously small. I consider anything over $1 billion to be pretty substantial and worth noting. 44 million total outstanding shares, and that is what I am seeing currently on APXT. And I heard news that they had announced a company had invested a fair amount of money into the stock, and that is why we saw this pretty harsh increase on the stock. However, I do not want to put out false information. I did Google Apex Technology News, and I checked a couple different sources. You know, if we click on Yahoo Finance, nothing is really coming up. I did check Reddit, and nothing is coming up. And then I did check Fidelity News, and nothing is coming up. But there was a substantial increase in Apex Technology share price. There was a fair spike, you know, from close at about $14.62 up to $15.45, which is not near the all-time high, right? We did reach all the way up to just about $18, but it was, you know, substantial enough to know that this is abnormal trading for the stock. I just want to be, you know, completely honest and say that I can't find the information on this on the internet. I did check a couple different sources, so I'm not going to confirm that happened, but you know, it does seem, based on the overall trend that we're seeing on the stock and that huge spike in the after hours, that it is possible that a company did take a very solid stake into APXT. Now, if anybody does have an article talking about this this investment, please drop it in the comment section down below so that everybody that watches this video has access to it. As I said, I have not been able to find it, but it does seem very possible, and I would not be surprised just based on the price action that we saw there. So, if we look at the 1-month chart, take a look at the RSI indicator. We are currently just coming off of overbought territory, over 70 with that spike. Anything over 70 is overbought, anything under 30 is oversold. And typically speaking, when we do see that over 70 RSI, the correction does seem to come into the mid 30s, low 40s, you know. So the corrections typically are a little bit steep. You know, we did see here all the way from 70 down to just under 30. So the corrections on APXT are something to keep in the back of your mind if you are holding this for a mid to long-term investment, as they do tend to be pretty decent, right? We do have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of valleys. If we do look at the last month, you know, we were sitting at $14.13, and we are currently sitting at $14.90. So the last month of growth has been pretty decently slow. We are on an uptrend very slightly, but I do see this company doing good things in the future. And if you look here, when the merger was announced, they had a pretty solid increase, right? They jumped up pretty high. They gapped up and never really looked back. So I do think this is a solid stock, regardless of how the charts are looking in that sense. But I just wanted to make that completely transparent with you guys and help with your financial and investing decisions. Now, I do have the 200 EMA right here, this dark blue line, and the 20-day volume adjusted moving average pulled up. And these indicators are as such. The VAMA is a 20-day moving average that takes into consideration the overall volume that is pumping into a stock, creates a trend line valuation of $14.58. And the EMA, the exponential moving average, takes a 200-day moving period valuation average and creates a trend line off of it. And we are currently sitting right under $14.90 with the EMA. And something to take note of that is a very bearish sign on a stock is this right here. The volume adjusted moving average did dip below this 200 EMA, so we are in pretty bearish territory. The larger the gap between these two indicators, the more bearish a stock is. And what you're going to be looking for in the future is a crossover between the volume adjusted moving average and the 200 EMA, as you see right here. And anytime that this happens, you know, that is a very bullish indicator. And if you'd gotten in when that happened at $13.89 and rode it all the way to the top as a swing trade, you would have made just shy of $5 per share, which is a pretty solid return on your investment. That's not bad whatsoever. I am holding this as a mid to long-term investment. That is the way that I'm playing this, as it is a merger deal. It is a SPAC company, and typically SPAC companies do see a pretty decent run up right up until the SPAC date, in which case you see a pretty sharp decline, and I will exit my stock, exit my position upon the day of the merger and lock in those profits. So that is how I'm currently playing the stock. I do not recommend you blindly follow what I do, but it is going to be a pretty hot stock, I think. And even though it's not moving fast right now, I do see good things coming with the company. Man, I need more coffee or something. I'm spitting all my words weird. People tell me that I rap when I talk, and I love seeing that. I should make a shirt or something. Market rapper or something. That's funny. Whatever. So that's how we're looking there. The volume is nothing out of the ordinary. It has been pretty standard for the last week or so, which is why we're not seeing a huge amount of volatility. It has been pretty consolidation-esque. We are hanging between a pretty tight price range around $15.30 and all the way down to right around here. It has been pretty tight, up and down, up and down. Nothing out of the ordinary. I wouldn't call this any sort of bullish or bearish pattern. I would call it just a consolidation phase. So it's a pretty neutral movement. Not really favoring either the bears or the bulls at this given moment. But we are currently in bearish territory and an overall bearish trend. If we draw a trend line here from the high point all the way down to the high point here, you can see it is a very bearish overall trend. And if we draw from the low point and match the low points, if we do continue this overall trend, you're going to be looking something like this. Now, something to keep in mind is if we want to break out of this bearish trend, a push above this overall trend line right here is going to be substantial for the bulls, and you're going to want to be watching for that. So if we do zoom this out a little ways and we pull this line down, right, it looks something like this. And over the period of the next few trading days, we're going to be looking to bust over, potentially $15.20, $15, $14.80, and we have been very solid consolidation happening right now. So even if we just stay in this current price zone, in this current price action, we don't move up whatsoever, right? The longer consolidation happens, the more that it favors the bulls. So you're going to want to watch for either consolidation or an increase in share price that'll break this overall downward channel that we are currently seeing on APXT. And once that happens, I do predict and speculate that we will move back into bullish territory and see some very solid bullish price action in the future. So do be watching for that. That is what I'm expecting to happen. And once that does happen, I do think we're going to continue to see some previous bullish trending like we have in the past. So that's currently how we're looking on the 1 month chart. The 1 day, 1 minute chart, if you're looking to day or swing trade this, just to be completely honest, I don't think this is a great stock to day or swing trade. You know, there's not a lot of volume pumping in right now. The volatility is not extremely high. You know, we're looking at about $14.20 up to $15.20. And typically it takes a couple of days to reach that. And we sometimes don't even hit it, right? This 15.20 mark, besides this huge spike due to the you know, investment news that I've heard hovering around on my comment section and YouTube, is, you know, kind of an outlier, right? If we didn't have that news come out, we would not have probably touched this 15.20. We probably would have hung around where we are right now. And honestly, if this spike did not happen, we are kind of forming a overall, you know, kind of, I would call this an ascending wedge in a sense. If we take here from the low point and the high point, you do have a funneling down, a tightening of price action. And typically when you break either of these trend lines, either up or down, the movement is pretty harsh. So, you know, this could be a slight bullish indicator. You know, I do feel inclined to say it's more neutral than anything, but I'm just presenting it to you as I see it, and you can make your own decisions investing based on that. Now, back to day or swing trading, you know, if you are interested in doing that, we do currently have support sitting at 1440, followed by support once again right around here at 1460. We had some pretty tight price action until that news did come out, in which we did shoot up to $15.48, and we have been slowly, you know, climbing back down ever since. This does kind of form a bullish flag pattern. So here is the pull right here. I'll make this line a little bit thick with 2 C's to make it a little easier to see. Move it off of the line a little bit. We do have the flagpole right here, followed by, you know, the overall flag coming from this high down here to from the low, you know, down here. Looking very solid. That is pretty solid looking bullish flag, and that is typically a bullish indicator. So if we can push through this overall trend line that we're seeing on, you know, on this bullish flag into Monday's trading hours, and we break through that trend line, that is a very bullish indicator, and we could see some pretty harsh price action as we've seen in the past. A perfect example of this would be JAG-X, a play that I put you guys on if you're part of the channel. We did have a bullish flag right here, and if we do zoom in on this, once we broke through this this overall trend line, we did see a pretty harsh climb in overall price, right? So that tightening of price action, that compressing, that buying pressure does typically favor the bulls. However, it can go both ways, right? There are bullish flag instances where, you know, we break through the bottom trend line and then it is bearish territory. But most of the time, you know, I'm not going to give you a percentage or anything, but most of the time this is a very bullish sign, and I do anticipate that if we do continue into Monday following that same pattern, that we're going to see some good things. So if you're looking to day trade this, we do have the current resistance level sitting right here at 1548. I would recommend, if we do see a pullback to 1460 or 1440, entering into your trade at that point and then riding it back up, see if we push through this 1548. And if we do, you can keep riding until the next level of resistance, which is, oh, I better come back to the other chart, APXT, which is currently sitting right around, I would say, here at 1589, in which case you're going to want to watch to see if we push through, you know, that resistance level. If we don't, we hover, you see a bounce back down, it's probably a good time to exit your trade. Currently in bearish or consolidation-esque territory, so if you're looking to short the stock and you do see a spike back up to 1548 followed by a price rejection, you could short and ride it back down to this level of support. You know, I do anticipate that we will see some support come from this overall, you know, price action that we saw in the after hours. You know, we did have a previous level of resistance acting as a level of support if we do come back up to 1548. So you could watch for this level. You could watch for this level as well, right here at 1480, and short it back down and follow these marks. If we push through 1510, keep it riding. If we push through 1480, keep riding. If you see price rejection or a bounce, exit your trade and lock in the profits. So that's currently what we're looking at on APXT, and that is what I have for the update. So if you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to get back to them in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like. It really does help support the channel. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this, as I do post videos every day. And lastly, I have an affiliate link in the description box down below for TubeBuddy. Now, TubeBuddy is an SEO optimization website that I personally pay a $9 per month membership fee for, and it is highly what I attribute growing from 0 to 3,000 subscribers in 22 days. I almost said 1,000. The channel's been growing so fast, I haven't been able to keep up. 3,000 subscribers in 22 days. So if you're a content creator or are looking to become one, I highly recommend this, as it is a great tool to help get your videos into the eyes of your intended audience. And if you do use my link, I will receive a commission at no extra cost to you, and it is a great way to support the channel. And if you're not interested, that's totally fine. I just appreciate your support by taking the time to watch my videos. So that is what we have for the video today, my friends. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace.